Adaptability is very important. So it doesn't have to be taking like any marketers, but basically I think having adaptability is one of the strengths that anyone can have.
Education.
I'm very curious, but I want the public to know as well that you see the transition, right?
Yes.
But how do you keep this open-minded to accept the change? Because I have met some of marketer, but they're not at this open-minded like you. You're very open-minded, you embrace the change, you open up with AI, you even teach us AI, and you are the rare one. I felt like, oh my gosh, she just adapt to the situation and she so embrace it with calmness, with confidence. So can you share a little bit of secret on that? Like, how do you have this? Because I think a lot of marketers feel very behind, and I hope this video will reach to people who are also a marketer, because I think this is a job going to be needed in the market, but a lot of people are still struggling in terms of what to do and how to do it correctly.
Well, with your question, about how do I even begin to kind of keep myself constantly transforming and changing, I think one of the few things in my experiences has always been adaptability is very important. So it doesn't have to be taking like any marketers, but basically I think having adaptability is one of the strengths that anyone can have, and it is actually one of the strengths that we can hold to in whatever situations that comes our way. So I think this is one of those things that I believe it cuts across any industry, but I think generally as life, we need to learn to be adaptable, because we have came through COVID, we have came through all sorts of crises and war, and these are things that in order for us to just keep our lives running is adaptability. And that would mean also resilience, right? So because resilience is one of those things that if we do not face conflict, challenges in our lives, we never really grow. So that's why even those times where I come from more traditional kind of a background in marketing, to then transiting to digital, then transiting to AI, is having the humility to know that there will always be things that will evolve and always be changing, and things can get really more and more advanced each day. But how do we actually keep ourselves resilient? And then that's also comes back down to our mindset. And our mindset is where we talk about, having to renew our mind and to be transformed. So how do we begin to renew is to understand and embrace the changes that is really happening and not to resist. So having to learn to embrace does take courage, because we don't know what we don't know, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand is that as we begin to see that we can learn from somebody who has also run that race before, or maybe just a few steps ahead of us. So there's always certain things that we can learn from each other. I mean, just like you, although you came in as my student, but I always love treasuring the time that I can converse with my students, because I feel like I have so much to learn from my students as well. If not for the interaction that a trainer can actually be interacting with a trainee and have that evolution kind of a conversation to keep us moving to find new solutions to the kind of problems that may evolve from day to day, right?
Yeah.
Then would actually just keep us back to, the setback is we will always think that we know better. But if we come with a cup empty, then we'll learn that actually we have so much, right, that people can view into our cup. And that's why this is the power of learning. And true learning and education is where transformation of the mind happens. And this is where we can capture the thoughts in our minds, right, to be able to truly live out and manifest the kind of different types of lives that we can actually live out. So not subjecting ourselves to like situations or crises that we've always been caught in.